Background: I 31 and my wife, she's 30, have been married for almost 9 years with 2 children. 9 and 5 in Illinois. No fault state. We bought a house in 2019 and our children have made many close friends. In the short time here, I work at a stable job and received multiple promotions. In my 7 years in the company, she quit her job when COVID broke out due to e-learning and has not had a job since, though the kids were in-person schooling last year. I guess you can say our relationship started off on not the best of terms. Back in 2010, she had just broken up with her boyfriend and we had been friends and she needed someone to talk to. Months later, we were together. We were young, dumb, and we got along better than any girl I had talked to at the time. D-Day. Number 1, 2018. We had financial issues and sold our home and moved in with my in-laws. I knew going from a 4-bedroom house with space to 1 room, living with her family, would be difficult, but we agreed to save up and find a home when we were financially comfortable. She started out of the blue dressing up nicely. Attention to her phone conversations between us lost the normal feelings. Thanks to her Apple Watch, because she deleted all her text and would show me her phone to prove there was nothing, I found out she was texting an ex from high school. The text included reminiscing on the times they had sex after school, how her chest has grown since attempts to meet up. But since he didn't have a car, they never did since I brought it up to her. She apologized with no contact and even changed her phone number. We agreed to work on things, and in my head did I justified not separating for the kids' sake over an emotional affair. D-Day number 2, summer 2021. One fight in the summer because she contacted an ex, a different one, and talked about how she wasn't sure she made the right decision at a young age to marry me and have kids. I thought she crossed the line even having a conversation like that with someone again. We work on things, but she starts hanging out with one of her friends who's single and was telling her the whole time, "Girl, you deserve better. Women get all the rights in divorce." D-Day. Number 3, fall 2021. Her friend introduces her to a group of guys and my wife hits it off with one of them, all behind my back. Obviously, she starts going out with her friend more. She was really meeting up with her new AP between October and December. They exchanged 6,000 text messages to each other. They were physical at a hotel and in my home while I started my new job. She swears up and down they only made out. I don't believe that adults that are attracted to each other and alone don't just make out. She sends vulgar pictures telling him she wishes she knew what a relationship with him was like, etc. I confront her and she goes off, pushes me up against the wall, scratches me, uses objects to hurt me. I call the police. She was charged with domestic violence. Court day comes and the judge dismisses it due to the issues it would cause for the children, being I couldn't watch them full time while they're at school, and her attorney pleaded she was sorry and willing to work on things. D-Day. Number 4 May 2022. I keep things cordial at home. I go on a work trip for a week and at this point I confirmed that she went no contact with her appy. Come back from the trip and see she has a new app on phone. WhatsApp. My heart sinks. I look and it's vulgar. She tried to meet up with him. I'm broken now. Current day, I've told her I want a divorce. She's begging that she's changed. Think about the kids. He's nothing, etc. The attorney I talked to said our best chance was 50-50 alimony for 3 to 4 years. I'm willing to do that. Just crushed at the idea of not seeing my beautiful babies each day. I love them more than you'll ever know, moving them out of their school district that they finally made so many friends, selling our house each day. I go to work and sometimes cry. I've heard her promises 100 times, but they mean nothing to me anymore. She says she'll do anything to change but doesn't know what actions that would take. I jokingly said, "Have him come here and apologize to my face, man to man, for what he did." She responded, "I can't control his actions. So here I am stuck ready to pull the trigger and retain a lawyer. Carry on the burden of debt for years to come and see my kids maybe 2 weekends a month. I need a shoulder to cry on. I need support. I need someone to tell me it's going to be okay." Update: loss for words at this point. So much has happened and I need to vent the past month. Our marriage has been what I consider stagnant. It's a terrible phase to be in. But with the kids and such, we talked about mediation and I was even willing to help her get a remote job at my company. So she could have watched the kids full time and keep the house in return. If she sold the house, half of the proceeds would go to me and I would have the kids 2 weekends a month and be able to see them whenever, as long as it was communicated and agreed on. We didn't start the process nor seriously look into a mediator. At that point, it was just discussions we had. Last week I found out she had an online dating profile that's been active for about 2 to 3 weeks. She had been talking, flirting with guys, and was even serious with one. Met up with him. Dirty talk, the whole thing. We had a wedding coming up and she was telling her friends I was going and she was going to bring this new guy she met. I once again was devastated. I brought this up to her. We argued. She took a lot of her prescribed medication, 5 to 6 times the amount she is supposed to take during one day, and called the police. They show up, take our stories and leave it as an incident report. The police said, "Well, since it's prescribed and she's not acting suicidal, there's nothing we can do." I leave for work broken. She calls a family member that morning and says she doesn't want to do this anymore. This family member calls non-emergency and the police come back and take her to the hospital for evaluation. I come back home for the kids and immediately call an attorney. She was then placed on a 72-hour psychiatric hold and I filed for an emergency order of protection. She's discharged Thursday and I go to court with my attorney on Friday. I did not take the kids or myself back home as we stayed at a family member's for the night. Per my attorney, Friday morning, the judge grants the emergency order of protection and she served not allowed to come to the residence, have any communication with me or the kids, etc. I find out Thursday night she was across the street at a neighbor's house and they had sex Friday. When she leaves, she goes to a hotel after withdrawing half of what I was paid since it was a payday and invited her original AP. The punches keep rolling in. Her friend asked if she can come by to pick up things my soon-to-be ex forgot. And I asked what? And the response was birth control for the record. My wife and I haven't been intimate for almost 2 months now. At least. So here I am called off of work most of last week in taking care of my kids and speaking with my attorney about what our next steps are legally. I feel like I have the upper hand since the emergency order protection was granted. And the next court date is in 3 weeks. Mentally, I feel so incredibly depressed as she's literally juggling multiple guys and living this carefree life, though the dissolution of marriage hasn't even been filed yet. Attorney wants to wait until the court date and see, but that can change. I have some support. Some friends who said they'd be there for me haven't responded, and she's going around telling all our mutual friends that I lied and got her kids taken from her. I'm the abuser, etc. So lots of people have ghosted me even if I just call or text them. Hey, I know things will get better. There is no chance of us fixing this as the wheels have already started to roll. But as a father who did nothing wrong, I feel sick that she's been intimate with these guys and I spend my nights alone not being able to sleep. It will get better. But if this isn't rock bottom for me emotionally, then I don't know what it is. End rant. Hopefully the next update will be much happier. If you enjoy this type of content, please like, comment and consider subscribing to the channel to be notified when I upload new videos. I appreciate your time.